Welcome back to Unlimited Recaps. Today we'll be diving into a horror drama film from 2012, Would You Rather? The film opens with Iris, a young woman taking care of her younger brother. Their parents passed away a while ago, leaving them in a tough financial situation. Her brother is battling blood cancer, and Iris needs a lot of money to pay for his treatment. She's been desperately looking for a job to support him. She tries for a position at a restaurant, but the manager only says, "We'll let you know." The next day, Iris meets with her brother's doctor, discussing his illness, when the doctor introduces her to a man named Mr. Shepard. The doctor tells her, "I know you're struggling with the medical bills. Mr. Shepard could help you." Shepard, a mysterious man, says he has a solution. He offers her a chance to participate in a game, more like a dare. And if she wins, she'll not only get a lot of money, but also secure a bone marrow donor for her brother. Iris is desperate, and even though the idea sounds strange, she's out of options. She looks at the doctor, who assures her, "It's real. Mr. Shepard helped me once too." Shepard tells her, "Just come to my party and play. If you win, all your worries will be over." Iris hesitates, but agrees to let him know by 8 p.m. After she leaves, the doctor and Mr. Shepard have a tense conversation. The doctor expresses concern. Maybe you shouldn't do this to her, but Shepard brushes it off, paying the doctor to keep quiet. Later, Iris gets a call from the restaurant where she interviewed. They turn her down. Feeling defeated, she contacts Mr. Shepard and agrees to join his party. That night, she tells her brother she's going to a friend's gathering and will see him in the morning. Shepard sends a car to pick her up. When she arrives at Shepard's place, she's taken to a waiting area where she meets 7 other people, including Lucas and Carl, who introduce her to the others. There's an elderly woman in a wheelchair, a gambler, a man deep in debt, a former soldier, and a quiet young woman. They're all there for different reasons, but one thing's clear: they all need money. Shepard's butler then arrives, asking everyone to leave their personal items and head to the dining room. Shepard appears with his son and serves them wine and meat. Iris, a vegetarian, declines the meat, but Shepard taunts her, offering her $10,000 just to take a bite. Shocked, but pressured, Iris starts eating while Shepard mocks her, saying, "Look at you, doing something you'd never do for money." The atmosphere turns tense as they realize they're here to be tested, and things are only going to get darker. "That's why he lost all his money," he muttered. Shepard, ever the manipulator, offers him $10,000 to take a drink. He declines, so Shepard ups the offer to $50,000, but he has to finish the entire bottle. Tempted by the huge sum, the man can't refuse and drinks it all. Watching him comply, Shepard smirks, pleased with his control over them. With dinner over, Shepard gathers everyone's attention and reveals the real reason they've been brought here. They're going to play a game called Would You Rather. In this twisted game, each person will face 2 choices, option A or option B, and they must pick one. The one who endures until the end will be declared the winner. Someone asks what happens if they refuse a dare. Shepard responds with a chilling answer: failure to choose in time results in elimination. He adds, "This is your last chance to leave. I won't stop anyone now, but once you're in for good." One of the guests, the businessman who earned $50,000 earlier, contemplates leaving but ultimately stays, motivated by greed. Everyone else, driven by desperation, decides to stay too. Shepard announces the first dare. He calls in his butler, who wheels in an electric shock machine. With a twisted grin, Shepard explains that he once worked in interrogation, using electric shocks to torture prisoners. The group is visibly disturbed, and the businessman tries to back out again, clutching his money, but Shepard coldly reminds him that his chance to leave is gone. And before anyone can react, Shepard has him shot in the head. The participants are frozen with fear, realizing the stakes are real. The first round begins, and electric belts are strapped to everyone's heads. Cal is chosen first and must decide who will receive the shock, himself or the silent girl sitting beside him. Cal, being kind-hearted, chooses to take the shock. Then, it's the silent girl's turn, paired with the elderly lady in a wheelchair. When asked who should receive the shock, the silent girl, revealing a cold side, chooses the elderly lady. The shock is painful and terrifying, but she endures it. The turns continue, with each person forced to choose who suffers. Lucas, a decent guy, takes the shock twice to spare others. When Iris's turn comes, she's paired with Cal. Despite the pain, she also decides to take the shock herself, proving her kindness. After this round, everyone has survived, though they're shaken to the core. Shepard's son walks in, laughing at their suffering. One participant, an ex-army man, challenges him, saying, "You should be ashamed." Shepard's son replies coldly, "You'll regret that," and leaves. Shepard returns and declares it's time for the second dare, giving everyone only 30 seconds to choose. Iris goes first. She's told she must either pinch Cal's foot or whip the army man with a leather strap. The army man, seeing her hesitation, says, "Just whip me, I can take it." Reluctantly, Iris strikes him 3 times, his skin breaking under the blows. Next, it's Lucas's turn. He's told he has to stab either Iris or the same army man. The soldier once again offers himself, and though Lucas hates it, he stabs him 3 times, drawing blood. Shepard's son watches, delighting in the brutality, clearly enjoying his control over their misery. Now the army man's turn comes. His options: stab Lucas or himself. Refusing to harm anyone else, he volunteers to take the punishment again. Each blow only deepens the suffering, but his resolve stays firm. Finally, it's another participant's turn, facing off against the elderly woman. The next participant, tasked with a cruel choice, must either stab the army man again or go after the elderly woman, whose lower body is already paralyzed. Thinking she might not feel the pain, he opts to stab her in the leg, but the stab hits a vein and she begins bleeding profusely. It's now the elderly woman's turn, with the silent girl as her opponent. She can choose to take revenge and stab the army man, or she can strike back at the silent girl. She chooses revenge, stabbing the silent girl's foot. When it's the silent girl's turn, she's given the choice to stab the army man or any participant she wishes. Shepard, with an unsettling grin, encourages her, saying, "Yes, I'll allow. You did well in the last round." She approaches Iris and stabs her in the side, though Iris manages to avoid serious injury. Suddenly, someone notices the elderly woman isn't moving. Upon checking her, they confirm she has died, likely from blood loss. Her body is removed without ceremony, and the game continues. Next, it's Cal's turn, facing the choice to stab Lucas in the foot or go after the army man again. The silent girl speaks up, saying, "We can't keep helping each other if we want to win." Cal agrees and reluctantly stabs the army man, who is already in terrible shape. Wounded beyond endurance, the army man collapses and is removed from the game. While Shepard and his butler discuss the next dare, Lucas notices an open door. Seizing the chance, he grabs Iris, and together they make a break for it, taking down 2 guards in the process. As Iris runs, Shepard's son finds her, catching her and taunting her cruelly. She fights back, stabbing him, and he falls, injured. Meanwhile, the doctor who sent Iris here has been racked with guilt. Realizing the terrible mistake he's made, he arrives at Shepard's mansion, gun in hand, vowing to save her. Just as he reaches Iris, the butler shoots him, dragging her back to the game. He explains to Shepard that his son was only teasing her, and Shepard apologizes to Iris with an unsettling nonchalance. The next round begins, and a large drum of water is rolled in. Each participant must either hold their head underwater for 2 minutes or choose an envelope in front of them. The first participant picks an envelope, which has a firecracker symbol on it. Thinking it'll be easy, he is horrified to see that it's actually a small bomb. The device is strapped to his hand, and within seconds it detonates, killing him instantly. His body is promptly removed. It's Lucas's turn next. He chooses an envelope with an eye symbol, and Shepard gleefully instructs him to cut his own eye with a blade. Sickened but left with no choice, Lucas reluctantly makes the cut. Finally, it's Iris's turn. Iris, gathering all her resolve, chooses to hold her breath in the water drum. Shepard's butler forces her head down, and as she submerges, her mind floods with memories of her brother and his dreams. She reminds herself she's doing this for him. Miraculously, she endures the full 2 minutes and surfaces gasping but alive. Next, it's the silent girl's turn. Terrified of drowning, she opts to pick an envelope. She unfolds it, revealing the number 4, meaning she must stay underwater for 4 minutes, a seemingly impossible task. The butler pushes her head down, but after struggling, she succumbs to the suffocation, leaving only Iris and Lucas in the game. Now, Shepard offers Iris one final choice. She can leave with Lucas, sparing his life but forfeiting any winnings, or she can shoot him and walk away with the prize money. Desperate, Lucas pleads with her, sharing that he has 3 sisters depending on him. "We can find another way to make money," he urges. But Iris thinks of her brother, the only family she has left, and the sacrifices she's already made. With a heavy heart and tear-filled eyes, she pulls the trigger, ending Lucas's life. Shepard and his butler applaud her coldly as she stands there, overwhelmed with regret. True to his word, Shepard hands her a stack of money and informs her that they've secured a bone marrow donor for her brother. Iris heads home, arriving in the early morning hours. Seeing her brother sleeping, she chooses not to wake him, instead going to freshen up and clear her mind. But when she returns to wake him, she finds a tragic scene. Her brother has taken his own life, an empty pill bottle beside him. And the movie ends on this haunting note. The movie conveys 2 powerful lessons. 1. Greed leads to self-destruction. The character's pursuit of money pushes them to harm others and themselves, ending in devastating consequences. 2. Relationships matter more than wealth. Iris's final loss shows that no amount of money can replace the love and bonds with those we care about. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this.